Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 641. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinsod,
I'm back.
and Tony Korkanakis.
Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers. We are live streaming on Twitch Tuesday nights. Just open the feed. We are live. It's working.
Whoa.
Welcome for those that join us here. Please join us Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock. We stream the Moviecast, do the Gamecast, and then it's it's a lot of fun. We ask questions. You can chat with us, and then if you miss it live, we are on YouTube the following day. So if you're watching this on YouTube, we thank you guys. Smash that subscribe and the like button, and
do it.
Yeah. So let's get into this, guys. This is the Moviecast. Yeah. So we've got box office to go over real quick. I was trying to open that up before, but Dungeons and Dragons did not do great, but it is really well reviewed. So it was number one last week at 37.2 million. It's not going to probably make its money back at that pace, it looks like. That's what people are saying.
Yeah, it could be like a streaming / home video type of success movie.
I feel like there's a good following for it. I personally have not had time to go and see this, and I do want to see it pretty badly. So, yeah. So I mean, it did pretty well, and like I said, it's good critical acclaim. Like even the feedback audience scores are pretty high, so deserves to do better. Maybe it'll have better legs too. You know, because if you just do normal multipliers, sure, but maybe it'll have better legs. You never know. John Wick at 28.3, so it still did pretty well. It's up to 123 total gross.
Nice. That's a long movie.
That's what I heard, and I think we're going to hear about that shortly.
Almost 3 hours long.
Only had a 61% drop though, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying is like it's not going to make as much, as they say because of the length of the film.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's forget the rest of this crap on this list because it's all garbage. Let's get into what we've been up to then. Tony, I heard you went and saw this, and I guess Corey,
I didn't get to see. I mean I'm dying to see this movie. So
okay.
There's a lot of people dying in the movie, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
So last week I did watch this, and I also watched Creed 3. So to talk about John Wick 4, it is good. Don't get me wrong. It is good. The action and choreography is probably the best it's ever been. There is one sequence that is just so creatively shot.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
I really want to watch it again just to like see. Just enjoy it and appreciate it again, because like when you're experiencing it the first time, you're like, whoa, this is different and stuff like that. So you don't really get to pay attention to the nitty gritty details. And I won't spoil it, but it's really awesome. That said, the story, I have no idea what the fuck is going on with the story anymore. Like,
really,
it is just like I was like, what? Why are we doing this now? And like, pretty much, and the characters even call John Wick out on this. They're like, all these people are dying because of your choices, dude. Like, all these bodies, all these people, everything bad is happening. It's because of you, man. It's like, yeah, coming from like John Wick 1, where it's like, oh yeah, you got wrong, dude. Like, you definitely deserve your revenge. To it's like, how did we get here? Like, how did we get here? Like, just you guys ever see that domino meme? Where it's like one guy with like a little domino, and you just see like the bigger things, and it's like somehow you start here, and then you get to the thing is like, like global nuclear war or something like that. It's like, yeah, that perfectly describes the John Wick story. And it is so long. Like,
yeah, I heard, like, because I saw a headline that said, like, the first cut of this movie was 4 hours, and then I was like, whoa, if they're going 4 hours, how much did they cut? And like, oh, it's just under 3 hours. And I was like, whoa. This is crazy for like an action flick.
Yeah, they needed to tighten this up. I would have been much happier if they just shaved off 30 minutes. There's one segment, like, again, no spoilers or anything like that, but there's this one segment towards, the climax of the movie, like in the end sequence, and you're like, holy crap, this is really awesome. Like, I love this. This is fun. This is exciting and stuff like that. And then gets to that part, and you're just like, okay, like, the thing is going to happen. And then you just get this another, like, 10-something, 15-minute, like, fight sequence. I'm just like, dude, like,
yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love my action, but I don't need, like, an hour straight of just, like, John Wick murking random.
You're really like reminding me of the Raid 2, where it's like the Raid was like this really tight knit, super fun action film, like short time, like action.
Yep.
Story was whatever, and then they try to throw all this story into the raid 2, and you're like I'm not following what's going on, but then there's like really cool action sequence throughout, but like the rest of the thing is like too long and you don't
Yep.
really know what's going on. So that's a little concerning, but
Yeah.
I'm still super
I
excited to just see the set pieces.
Yeah. Again, I think you'll enjoy it, but it's just one of the things where, like, out of all of them now, out of the four of them, I'll probably rewatch this one the least, just because, like, again,
Rewatchability.
rewatchability. Like, I could watch that first one very often, even the second one. Like, now I'm just like, oh, God, I don't want to do this one anymore. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. The ancillary characters did well. With what's his name?
Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen, yes. His character. Now, the one thing I will say. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say there was a character that they're saying that is probably gonna get a spin-off.
Oh, absolutely.
A black guy.
As soon as this character shows up and is like important to the story, I'm like, who the fuck are you? I was like, oh, you're probably gonna be like a spin-off character or something like that, because it was like too much attention is being put to this dude. But Donnie Yen, his character. You learn this in the first 2 minutes of meeting this character. He's basically Daredevil. Like, he's a blind...
I assume that. Yeah.
I mean, wow, Donnie Yen playing another blind character. Like, okay, like, original material.
Bread and butter.
And I'm just like, all right. So, like, there, my suspension of disbelief, it's like, all right, man, like, it was already hard to buy, like, you know, Keanu Reeves, John Wick being, like, basically a Fast and the Furious type superhero where it's like, there's nothing special about him. He's just really, really good at what he does. But he just comes away from all this stuff, like, basically unscathed and whatnot. But then you put Donnie Yen in the mix, and he's blind. And you're like, how is this dude an expert fill in the blank, like, in every aspect? There is one part that has a really cool creative use, or, you know, creative use of that handicap there that I won't spoil. It's fun to watch. So, as much as I'm complaining, it is a very good movie. I'd probably give it, like, 8 out of 10, you know, I think is good. But it is long. And then really quick, just to talk about Creed 3. That was an amazing movie. Excellent. I did feel the absence of Sylvester Stallone, though, unfortunately. Like, I think this would have been so great for him because, like, in this one, it's a very personal story for Adonis Creed because it's, like, one of his BFFs growing up. Yeah, childhood friends and stuff like that and whatnot. And just like John Wick, you do see some of the other characters from the previous two movies coming back in minor roles, and you're just like, oh, I could see them trying to build up that, like we were talking about, like the Rocky cinematic universe and stuff like that. So it is interesting. It is exciting. And
that was Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut.
You can 100%, 1,000,000% tell that he had like a lot of touch in this because, first of all, the opening fight sequence, super anime with like all of a sudden like it does like a slow down, focus in, like zoom, like, you know, like really impactful shot or something like that, like shot straight out of like Hajime no Ippo or something like that. And then another reference is like there's just flat out a Gundam somewhere in the movie, and you're just like, I'm just like, that's the Gundam, like I know that Gundam and stuff like that. So fantastic movie. Hope we get, you know, Creed 4 and hope they get the issue resolved to Sylvester Stallone. So
yeah,
that would be great. That's what I've heard. This only absence that felt on that.
Like they don't even explain it. They don't explain it at all.
Don't even touch on it.
They don't even mention him.
It's like
nobody.
Do you go in there and just like talk about it, or you just no? It's like we're gonna cut it out all together.
You guys remember the old Simpsons episode with Poochie, where it's like everybody should be asking, "Where's Poochie?" You know, whenever he's not on screen. This is the opposite, where it's like nobody at all is gonna mention like, "Oh, maybe you should give Rocky a call," or you know, something like that. They just treat him like he doesn't exist.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's interesting how sometimes like people get around it where like they'll call, like you said, call up the character, but the character won't say anything. You just have like a one-sided conversation.
Yeah, that would have been fine. It's so weird. It's so weird. But whatever. Minor nitpick there.
All right. Corey, you were on last week.
I mean, I was on vacation. Got to my kids were in spring break, so I went down to see some family in Florida. And with that, you know, just didn't really have much time to watch much of anything. A lot of just kids stuff. I will say, I got to watch Luca for the first time because I never saw that movie. But the reason I got to watch it is because I had to go to the urgent care for something, and it's nothing crazy. Okay. Everything's good. But it was a 4-hour wait. They said, "Oh, just 2 hours." I was like, "Okay, cool." So then 2 hours go up. I was like, "All right, we gotta go in." And then 2 hours in like the like
Oh shit, yeah, that sucks.
examination room before we even saw someone. I was like, "What is going on here?"
Yeah.
So
You
like
gotta
stick
wait
my head
behind
out,
all
like
those Florida men.
serious. I stick my head out. And for like after half an hour, I'm like usually someone comes within a half an hour once you are put in a room
Yeah.
because now you're taking up time from someone else or whatever. And so I stick my head out, and the doctor's in the hallway, and he just looks at me. He's like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "I'm just wondering if we're gonna get seen soon." He's like, "Oh, I got so much other stuff going on. Like, just gotta wait your turn. Like, I can't help it, man. You gotta wait your turn." I was like, "I'm just looking to find out when we're gonna get seen." So. But yeah, so
That
we got to
sucks.
Wow.
watch the entire film of Luca and some other stuff because
Yeah.
that's a short film. But it was
Wow.
fun movie. So
All right. All right. Mike?
I finished up the first half of Doom Patrol now too, the 6 episodes. And yeah, the season grew on me a bit as well. And it's more annoying that it's the end to me than maybe it was even when I started the season. But
mm,
we'll see how the next 6 or how many ever episodes that are remaining, maybe it's less, go.
yeah.
And then I am now just a couple weeks behind in Mandalorian. I watched the third episode, the one where it's
Oh.
that vignette with the scientists, which seems completely unrelated to anything, but I'm sure they'll tie
Out of
them in
nowhere.
at some point. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
that was interesting. I didn't mind it. I just want to know why it's relevant, and I don't really remember like where those two characters were before. Like they both look familiar to me.
They were working
I,
for Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
I know
They
he
were.
was. Was she also?
Yeah. She was on the ship.
He even called it out when they were having that drink with the other people. And he was
Yeah.
like, I wasn't expecting somebody else from Moff Gideon's, whatever.
So
Star Destroyer.
that was interesting. Well, ironically, what it did, I did like the setting of that was Coruscant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the more city areas in Star Wars sometimes, and it sort of got me more excited for the Jedi Survivor game, which is
Ooh.
coming soon, which is
Yeah.
good. But although there was a couple weird non-set sets moments in there that early on where it's like, oh, why is this is a staircase? You couldn't make it like a staircase. But otherwise, decent but odd episode, and obviously I have lost the sense of urgency really to. Well, I mean, I'm watching it with my wife anyway, so we have to find time to see these episodes. So
Mm.
that's why we're behind, but it's still interesting, and we'll see where it goes. That's been it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Mandalorian, the newest episode for me, which I thought was okay. I mean, I kind of wonder where they're going this season. They're kind of a slow burn for a short season. But it wasn't a bad episode. It was good. And I think at the end we kind of got a little bit direction of where they're going. But
Mm.
I think. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I haven't watched the
I'm
last
not
two.
watched.
I
No,
don't
no
know.
one else has seen it yet. I'm too
Yeah.
behind. So
A little
yeah.
direction of it, and it's interesting. And we'll see where this tomorrow's episode goes. So, really, other than that, for me though, not. I'm trying to think of what else. Not really much that's of worth notes. So don't worry about it. Let's move on to some news. So this is Mario Week. It's Mario Movie Week.
Mhm.
We've got some promotions. I thought we'd put it on the news here. I gotta say, Jack Black cosplaying Bowser on the red carpet was impressive. So they really Jack Black really dove into this character really well. And was it Anya Taylor-Joy,
Yeah.
Princess Peach? She also cosplayed that role on the carpet, sort of. So it was
Biker Peach, yeah.
yeah, it was really well done for both of them,
Mhm.
and I was very impressed. It's exciting week. Reviews aside, I haven't really read any reviews. I saw on Twitter somebody posted a score. It's middle, so
Yeah, it's
we'll
like
see how.
60 right now.
Did it go up? Did it go back
Oh,
up?
it went
Okay.
back up a little bit.
Okay. So I mean, I'm going to see it. Tickets bought. Can't wait for Friday morning. I'm going to check it out and looking excited for it. So
Nice.
Yeah. I posted this pretty long interview from Variety, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
Where they interviewed
Oh, yeah,
a
I
bunch
did
of
see
the-
that.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend checking it out because they
Yeah.
just went back and forth into the collaborative process and how they even like came across the the notion of like, yeah, let's do another movie and stuff like that. But it's funny, just circling back to the Jack Black part. he was saying like, you know, my kids are this old now, and they're at the age where it's like, just leave me alone, Dad, kind of thing, and they don't really show an interest in any of my projects ever, you know, whatever it is. But as soon as they found out I was doing Mario movie, they wanted to like be like, you know, find out about all this. They asked to come to the premiere, this and the other thing. So he's like, yeah, my kids think I'm cool again. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of funny, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been a fun promo to follow for it. Like I said, the weakest thing for me is I'm wondering about Chris Pratt and how well I'm gonna like dive into the Mario character with him as the voice. That for me seems like the weakest because Luigi, I can't wait to hear. What's his name?
It's like Charlie Day. But like I think that for the people that grew up with Mario, may like find it jarring, but for the majority of people, like the kids that are going to see this, they don't care. They don't care at all.
No,
I don't know about every kid has grown up with Mario too, because there's always been a Mario thing that's been
not
new.
Every kid. I mean, my stepdaughter.
But they're not gonna. They're not gonna care as much as the people that have had like
30 years.
Exactly.
I'll get a 10. Listen, for the next podcast, I'll have a 10-year-old feedback review, so I'll let you guys know what she thought of the voice. Okay?
I mean, nobody.
You played like Odyssey in front of her before?
No, she's never heard Mario's voice, so we'll see.
She hasn't played Mario Kart.
It's an unbiased. Oh, maybe.
Well, again,
she might not have played Mario though.
Yeah.
It's just like you're not gonna get much of the voice either in that kind of game. I just don't think the movie's target audience is not gonna care as much. But for us, you know, because we've heard it for decades, it's gonna be like, this is not what I expected. But at the same time, you accept it, and you know,
we've known about it for too long, and that's the thing. Same thing with Illuminate, because like a lot of people are coming out of the woodwork now on social media, being like, "Oh, Illumination, they should have never gone." It's like, yeah, but like, you know, if Nintendo's goal is to make money, expand the brand, I mean, Illumination was a really good partner, and I think it's the projection right now is 125 million.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just like,
something like that,
if you can't argue with Minion's success, like,
yeah, you can't.
Like,
I think
it's a $1 billion franchise, so
it's 225 worldwide opening weekend. They're looking at, I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was talking about domestic opening.
Oh, domestic, okay.
But if it definitely does like 250 worldwide opening weekend, I mean that has a chance at $1 billion. So, bold prediction for me. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely see it. It's the reviews don't matter.
Yeah,
so
that's exactly what I was like. Reviews don't really matter. Like, yeah, would I love to see like, you know, something along like Pixar or like DreamWorks, like Puss in Boots, because that reviewed really well. I know you spoke highly of it. Yeah, absolutely. But like, for the first time, them doing an animated movie, like, just good enough is fine, you know. And they have other properties or sequel that can alleviate that problem, as long as they, you know, just get experience and get the, you know, a notch under the belt. The one thing I did read in some of the reviews that really like this is the thing that turned me off the most, was they have licensed music in this. And I was just like, why? Like, it just is baffling to me. It's like you have decades worth of iconic songs and music. Like,
you know what it is? It's because it's not the nostalgia. That's for us.
I get it. I just hate it. I personally.
Because the kids are gonna like the newer music. They're going to.
But it's not even newer music. Like, one of them, in spoiler, is like, "I Need a Hero," and it's just like, I don't need to hear that ever again. Like, if I went the rest of my life without ever hearing that, I would be fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, I was going to tell you some other Nintendo news, but Shrek 5 is in production, tying that together. So, and the original cast, all in discussions about coming back, which is crazy considering how long it's been.
It's very much a tease. If you watch Puss in Boots, there's a lot of tease, and how well that did. It's like, well, might as well
streaming now, right? On somewhere.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Yeah. It is streaming, yeah, and it's a fantastic film.
Style on that.
Yeah. Fantastic film. And yeah, it really gets you hyped for a Shrek 5. And so, like, when they announced this, you're like, thank God. Because, again, stepdaughter left the movie saying, well, when's the next one? I'm like, well, I think that's going to be Shrek 5. So
I love, like, the innocence of kids where they're like, oh, when's the next? Like, I think I remember, Corey, you talk about how your boys wanted to see Sonic 3 or something right after they saw Sonic 2 or something like that. You're like, might have to wait a couple years on that, but like...
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, that's
they don't know.
They tease you,
and
exactly. They tease you at the end. It's like, what's this about? Like, when are we going to see that now?
Yeah. They don't understand the dev cycle of how much work goes.
Well, that's why I said, I love the innocence about it. When like I remember, like, oh man, Like I remember when Mario 3 was the huge thing, and then a couple years later, it's like Mario World, and it's like holy shit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. All right. So yeah,
But there's something else
that
coming
was good.
back with the original cast, right, Jim?
Let me get my. I don't have the news.
Oh
open
my
now.
god,
Wait
I
a
set you up and you fucking dropped the ball on this.
Yeah, so the original cast of, well, okay, so on Netflix, Netflix is bringing back Scott Pilgrim. And the funny part is, it's not going to be live action like you saw in the movies, but it is the original cast. It's going to be an anime style with the original cast coming back as voice actors of these characters. Exciting.
They got
Like,
everybody.
super exciting.
Literally everybody.
Yeah.
Edgar Wright's obviously involved too.
Yeah.
Edgar Wright. They got, I mean, literally Brandon Routh.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans is
Brie
back.
Larson.
Brie
All
Larson,
these actors and
Anna
actresses
Kendrick.
that got huge like after that
Yeah.
movie.
Thomas Jane.
Yeah. Literally
Wasn't he?
everybody.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I am super psyched for this. This was something that, like, it's funny because I didn't read so much of the graphic novel for it, but I loved the movie. Like I've watched it multiple times. That's how much
It's
I love
such a
that
good movie.
So
But
yeah,
it makes you fat.
yeah. So it's impressive, and
Chicken parmesan
Yeah.
is not vegan. It's milk and eggs, bitch.
yeah, milk and eggs. All right. Let's
As
see
your
here.
Superman.
Yeah, so we mentioned Shrek 5. All right, let's talk about the Henry Cavill news.
Is it
Going back to
news?
Why?
Nintendo,
Is it news?
it might be.
There is no news.
It's a rumor.
Henry Cavill is vaporware.
Wait, Henry
He
Cavill
exists. Vaporware.
No, he does. I don't even think he exists anymore.
It is heavily rumored that he's attached to the latest Zelda whatever it is. Whatever incarnation it's going to be, whether that be, I think it's an animated film that they're going for right now, but he's attached to it, sort of rumored. But I don't know. It's exciting. What do you think about him attached to that? Like, do you see him as the main, like,
No.
Link role or
No,
Ganon?
no.
How about Ganon? Side
I see
character?
him as more as a Ganon or a champion or something, maybe.
He can be the moon that comes down in Majora's Mask.
I don't want to see a live action Zelda. I'll be honest.
I think it's going to be animated, this one. It looks like, so, from what I read. And especially after, it's really banking on Mario right now. Let's see what happens with Mario, but I'm sure we'll hear more after Mario gets launched and does, if it does, if it's a success, I bet you we get Zelda pretty quickly.
Where is that being developed?
What, the Zelda?
Yeah.
But they haven't. There's no studio announced yet. But I'm guessing that's what I'm saying. Like, this is probably all pre-planning, pre-production. I guarantee you, if Illumination ends up making a lot of money for them, it's going back to Illumination again.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I don't want to start this. I think what we're gonna see, the next Nintendo animated movie is gonna be Donkey Kong, because they introduced him in this movie. They
I think so. I think you might be right.
Plus, the thing is, if you read that interview I posted, the whole thing started because Nintendo and Universal were working on the theme park together.
Mm-hmm.
And then just from business of that, they're like, hey, it would be good advertising for this? Like a movie, like Synergy, and that kind of stuff. And they're like, well, yeah, we didn't really do too well the last time in the 90s. And long story short, that's how it came to be. But the Nintendo land in Japan has a Donkey Kong section. So I'm pretty sure, like, just the way Nintendo works, we're going to see a Donkey Kong movie.
They were talking about that. I saw that in the news today a little bit. So, yeah, I could see that happening. But I do think, I mean, you could also dual green light.
Oh, no, yeah, absolutely.
So,
but I'm saying if we talk about Zelda or any other non-Mario and DK series, I think it'd be a different studio. I don't think Illumination.
Non-DK.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Illumination is introducing us to Donkey Kong, so you're saying that's them.
Yes.
But then somebody else will be getting it. Okay, I got you on that. That makes sense. Makes sense.
You'd also think that it'd be more serious than what Illumination is known for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. You're right as well. And ultimately that's why I've included this news. It's not about Henry Cavill so much. It's about the possibilities of new. This is a Nintendo launch week for this. It's weird to have Nintendo on a movie cast. I don't think we've had it. So it's impressive to be able to discuss.
Not in a good way, anyway.
It's impressive to be able to discuss the future of what could be if they are successful with this movie coming out.
I mean,
And
because we've had this all the news before, and then like that
Kirby.
got leaked, and then Tim's like, "Well, fuck you
Fuck,
guys."
yeah,
We're doing
Nintendo's
it.
is like,
I mean-
this out.
just think about kids, Kirby. It's like
Yeah.
perfect. That is a perfect. Like I would argue that Kirby as a movie will draw more than Donkey Kong.
I don't think
know
so.
about that.
I would argue it. I'd
Not,
argue.
not after the Mario movie comes out. There's no way.
You might be right about that, but who's to say Kirby's not a surprise appearance?
Kirby doesn't even talk, man. Really.
Kirby is.
Kirby had an anime, a very successful anime, and he didn't talk in that.
I mean, that's impressive actually.
They had
yeah,
other characters
that's
talking for him.
that's why. That's right. You get Kirby, and then you have his sidekick, and the sidekick does all the talking, and you're done.
Yeah, he had these two little kids, and they would always interact and be like, Kirby, you should do this. And he'd just go, Poyo? And then he'd do the thing.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else we have on the news? There's two things. I'm going to start with The Rock, because we don't like The Rock right now, so I thought we'd talk about him.
Oh, he's grifting again.
Live action Moana movie in the works from Disney Plus, with obviously The Rock attached.
Never stop grifting.
Yeah. He's hyping it up like crazy.
NSG. Forget NFTs, NSG. Never stop grifting.
Super hyping it up. He's excited to do it. He loves the character. I'll give him credit on that.
Excited to get paid.
He's always excited to do it.
Excited to market himself.
Sure. But I have heard that Moana may be cut from the film because he, not enough room. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What was
That's
his character's name again?
That's a joke.
What was
Maui. It's Maui.
Watch it be called Maui.
That
This is like scratched out Maui.
Yeah, I mean, I just I know that Disney has their own vision for this, and at least I give them credit to hold true to that. Do we need a movie like this when Moana is so recent? That's the next thing. Like,
yeah. I mean, they've been having success with their live action
the live action stuff. I mean, I'm shocked they have.
Some of it.
I'm really shocked they have because, like, I just don't see as much appeal like to live action movies. Like the animated versions of the movies that they've done are so good. Like, why? Like, if they want to do,
I can understand the older movies, like like Dumbo or like
they're doing the Aristocats. I heard.
Yeah,
they're
like
doing
the older stuff where it's like kids watch it, be like, this just looks old. It's like, okay, let's make a live action.
But the thing is with that style animation, it does hold up pretty well. You know what I mean?
No,
Like
it does, but at least from that, I can be like, I can understand. It's like, okay, we're taking a movie that's 50 years old and remaking it. I get that.
Yeah, I mean,
when you're taking a movie that's less than a decade old, you're like, why? Like, what?
It's
like Last of Us Part 1. Why are we doing this?
Back to my own survey here at the house, and this is like a kiddish episode, I guess, but I have massive excitement whenever live action versions of these movies come out, and she loves the animated versions of these movies. I think it's like to see it again in a different way. She's super excited for it.
I get
So,
it. I mean, I'm not the target audience.
That's
That's fine.
That might be why they keep doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for me, it's like, Sword in the Stone is a movie that I love, and I think it's great the way it is. I've heard that might be on the live action coming up soon, and I'm like, I don't care to see that. And that's one of my favorite of all times, like favorite animated movies, Sword in the Stone. So, like, I don't know. It's just me, I guess. It's just I don't know.
I've just personally been let down by almost all of them. I think Aladdin was the most offensive one to me. I was just like, this. Just
I like Aladdin. I think
Did you?
That's fine. I think that
flat out okay.
the live action movies where they deviate from the original, like Maleficent or whatever, or what's the Cruella? Like, I think those are a little bit better because it's giving you something new perspective, something different.
Yeah, like when you deviate from stuff, it's better.
Yeah. It's good. So you have it, but like I'm saying, that when you have a classic and you're just doing it shot for shot, Lion King, whatever, it doesn't necessarily work as well.
Yeah, I agree.
But we'll see. I don't know what they're doing here. Maybe a Maui movie would be better then.
Yep. Now, lastly, I saved the maybe best for last. I don't really know. There's mixed opinions on this, but Warner Brothers and WB are officially in talks to reboot Harry Potter as a series. For so long. Now, I will say this though. For so long, I have asked for this. I feel like the movies. There's nothing wrong with the movies, but there's so much content from those books they had to skip. By doing a series, it could be done so well.
Oh yeah. I mean, I talked about this a year or two ago.
I think we've definitely had these conversations before.
We have.
I'm pretty sure I even said it.
Yeah,
no,
why is this taking so long?
my brother and I have had
This might have been a
conversations
bold
for
prediction
years.
at one point too.
I'm
Yeah,
almost
for
positive now
years.
that I'm thinking about it. Sorry to interrupt. Like I even said, like in the next 5 years, we're seeing Harry Potter rebooted as a TV series.
I believe we can
almost
tie this
100%.
together. For those listening, if you go back to our Game of Thrones episodes, we really I think that's where we had most of these conversations. But like, I guess the biggest pushback right now is because it's all new cast when they do this, and nobody wants to see that. And I'm like,
Really?
yeah, I'm okay with this. Like, I'm
Really?
What
okay
did you
with this.
expect? Would you
Yeah.
expect these kids to come back? They're like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, like
Really?
I'm ready. I'm ready to.
So
I'm
you'd be
cool
okay with like
like
a new Luke Skywalker, right?
yeah, I mean,
Or a new Indiana Jones.
I would. I guess it's iconic. You're right, like that. Indiana Jones, you have to get. Like,
No, I
I'm
mean, if
okay
you're
with Indiana Jones.
rebooting something, if you're not continuing the story, if you're gonna tell the same story, then you gotta use kid
Yeah,
actors.
you know what? Thinking about it, you know what though? If they're gonna reboot Star Wars and they're gonna tell Luke Skywalker's story somehow again, yeah, I'm okay. I'll go on record. Yes,
Oh
I'm
God!
okay.
Rick. If they ever reboot Star Wars,
I've never had it worded to me that way, Tony. And like you just said it, and I'm like, let me process this. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah,
Well,
I'll
what
be
about
okay
Solo?
with it. What?
What about Solo?
Well, that was just not a great movie. I mean, there's a different situation here. It's not. I'm not blaming the actor so much. And I even said that movie was fine as long as you remove the Han Solo parts of it. I just feel like it was a tie-in to like they use his name.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
And the problem though was that character was too tied to the actor, and then you wouldn't want to see that character when it wasn't that actor.
Maybe it's Harrison Ford only in this role.
Wow, that's weird. You guys have the same opinion about Indiana Jones.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's Harrison Ford only. We have this. I don't have the opinion on Indiana Jones. I'm ready for an Indiana Jones recast. I'm okay with this.
Okay.
Like, yeah. But you know, I'm good with this. Like, after playing Hogwarts Legacy more, I love this universe, and I'm like, I'd love to see them redo this properly with like 8 episodes to 10 episodes a season. I'd be psyched for it.
No, fuck Harry Potter.
No.
Fuck Harry Potter.
I mean, yes, do you like Harry Potter?
All these.
Go on, Michael.
Is it going to include all of the postscript deviations to her own writing that J.K. Rowling
100%.
say afterwards?
100%. She's going to do like George Lucas did and like fix things and stuff like that, and change things. Like, oh yeah, like God, what was it like? You know,
Well, I don't know. Like Harry was always meant to be black or something. She
She
said.
would be only on as she'd only be on as an executive producer. How much push can
she
his
still has
executive-
full control,
I don't know.
creative control, dude.
Does she have full
100%.
It is her
Absolutely.
IP. It is like she has final say.
Absolutely, 100%. And I don't know. I feel like part of this too is her trying to get petty ass revenge on all the kids from the movie who have pretty much spoken up publicly against her in the past couple of years. So it's like, oh well, fuck these kids. I'm gonna get new kids and make sure they're fucking turfs like me. And it's like, okay.
Before I forget, like just remember we were having this conversation for the Gamecast. There's a conversation we have to have on the Gamecast, by the way, for Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, I got to bring this up on the Gamecast though. You just reminded me, but keep going.
But no, I mean, as far as Harry Potter goes, like the story, like as it was, I mean, we all loved them when they were coming out, and like I still love that. Okay, maybe you didn't, but I mean, saying like I still love those stories, and like I do think it'd be neat to see it for a new generation. It's unfortunate things that are going on in the real world with this stuff, but as far as what that universe and those characters provided at the time, I thought that was great. So
like I said, like introducing that to like a 10-year-old here, it's so cool. Like I'm listening to the books, and it's so cool to go back into that universe and experience so much more than what the movies could cover. And again, it doesn't even matter. Also, going back to Hogwarts Legacy again on this podcast, to get back in that universe and see how amazing that world is, it's so cool. Like I'm all for this, even though Rowling aside. That's all. So yeah, it's a very turmoil feeling I have because but we don't have to get on that for this episode. I'm just saying that it's just know I have some turmoil.
Everybody does. Every Harry Potter fan has it, and it's just one of those unfortunate things. What she should do to just make everybody happy is fucking sell the fucking rights to fucking Warner Brothers, just like George Lucas did. Be like selling it for what, $4 billion? Whatever the fuck they bought. Bought it for.
Eventually she will.
Eventually she will. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but like, not until she's had more fun.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. So, all right. I think that's it. Yeah, that's all we have on the Gamecast. So that's going to wrap up this episode, folks. So thanks for watching. Once again, we are live on Twitch Tuesday nights. Please join us, chat with us, conversations, ask questions. YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for watching this, guys. Please smash that subscribe and the like button. And leave us a comment on there. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'll read it on the air here. Up until that point, we're up to Gamecast coming up next. Next week, hopefully we do a little spoiler cast maybe with Mario. Stay tuned for that. So we'll see you guys soon. We are out.